Have you ever seen one of these guys? A Jacobsen Greens King professional reel mower? Well, let's go over it just a little bit on how it operates. These things are pretty unique and very interesting. They operate completely differently than anything else that I've seen so far. I've dealt with John Deere 220s, 260s, uh, Toro Greensmasters. I even had Jacobsen Eclipse 2s, which are the battery powered or the engine that runs a generator to an electric motor. So those are those are pretty interesting too. But these guys, Greens King 522 or Greens King 526. This is a 526A. Now I don't know everything there is to know about greens mowers, but I haven't had every single one on the planet to look at. But this guy is pretty interesting. So inside this housing right here, you're going to have a centrifugal clutch, kind of like a go-kart. So as the engine RPMs rev up, the clutch starts grabbing and it will move the mower. So it's pretty interesting. And like I said, I don't know of any other mower that has something kind of like that. That's actually a centrifugal clutch. But on this guy right here, if you flip this over, now nothing's on. The rear drum's not moving right now, and the reel won't move if you have that on. But if you flip this over like that, then you're going to turn the rear drum on. And only the rear drum will be working. When the mower's going and you throttle it up, the only thing that'll be moving is that rear drum. And then if you flip this guy right here, then that'll turn the reel on. Okay, now what's interesting about these is that you could turn this one off and just run the reel by itself. And then you can push the mower instead of using the rear drum to run the mower. Like if you need to go up against some mailboxes or some garden edging or something like that, you can turn that off, run the reel by itself, and you can just push it. Now, it's not going to push very easily. I mean, this thing is probably like 250 pounds. So it's not like you're going to be able to just turn it off and just start whipping it around the yard. But if you have to go around something, it may help you to be able to do that. But you can run the drum by itself, you can run the reel by itself, or you can run them both at the same time. So that's how that works, which is pretty interesting. Now, when you want to get this thing moving, once you turn the engine on, it's a Honda GX 120. Pretty basic. This is a pretty basic engine that goes on a lot of stuff. You're going to turn your gas on and your choke on, and you're going to have an on-off switch right there. Actually, on these, you're going to have a separate switch right here. This is also going to be an on-off switch. This could be your kill switch. If something happens and you need to shut the mower off real quick, you can pull this out, and it'll turn the mower off. So you have two switches, one there and one there, which is kind of interesting. But once the engine's going, they're a little bit different, not only with the way that they drive themselves and the way that you can turn everything independently on and off, but they have this presence bell right here. Now this bell actually serves a function. You have to push it left and back, and that will pull your throttle. This is your throttle. You pull this back, it revs the engine up, and you'll go forward. When you set this is faster, this is slower. So you'll move it one direction to the other. You move it like that, it'll idle like it is. When you pull this back, it'll rev the engine up, and you can move this either direction, and it'll slow the engine down, idle speed, or rev it up. Now, I say idle, but whenever you pull this back, I mean, it's going to rev the engine up when you do that. This is your throttle. So that's how you operate that, which is a little bit different because when you're mowing and you're going and you reach the end, you have to let off, turn the mower, push it over, and go back again. And you can't pull it back without it being over. So you have to get used to it. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not too bad, honestly. This is your brake. You just flip that on for a brake. Like any of these other mowers, these professional greens mowers, they all have brakes on them because they all have wheels that you can put on them for golf courses to roll them around on cart paths and stuff like that. But they have wheels that'll go on these hubs right here, and they'll lock in right there, and you can turn the rear drum on, and with those wheels on there, you can run it down concrete and the cart path. So that's pretty much it, really, honestly. They're a little bit different. They're pretty cool to use. And just like the other greens mowers, like a Toro and a John Deere, here is going to be your reel to bed knife adjustment. They're put on there a little bit differently than some of the others, but reel to bed knife adjustment and height of cut knobs. You raise the roller up and down, just like on a Toro, just like on a John Deere. Down, you push the roller down, it'll push the mower up. You lift the roller up, it'll push the mower back down. That's how you change your height of cut. So if you've ever been interested in one of these, that's a little bit about how they work.